You know, I'm going to call this shit right now. The third quarter just ended 5 seconds ago. It's, of course, going into the fourth quarter. It's 37-3 right now. Cowboys up. The game is over. The game is fucking over, okay? People may say the game ain't over till it's over. Nigga, it's 37-3. The game is over. You know what's crazy? We can't beat the fucking Packers to save our lives. But we can always count on beating the Vikings. We've won 5 out of the last 6 matches against them. 5 out of the last 6. We have the Vikings number. Just like the Packers have our number, unfortunately. And you know what? Last week I had a great trip to Washington, D.C. But Thursday night, after looking at the score, I was pissed. They lose 5 straight. This is the Packers. The Packers lose 5 straight, beat us, and then get their ass whooped by the Titans on Thursday night. You see how that makes us feel? Like these motherfuckers lost 5 straight. They beat us, and then they get their ass whooped Thursday night against the Tennessee Titans. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get mad here. That's why I didn't make a video last week. Just bringing up old wounds. I'm sorry. Brothers, I was mentally touched. I was mentally disturbed after last week. I hate the Packers. Not as much as I hate the Eagles, but I hate them. I can't stand them. And to lose to them after they lost 5 straight games. To lose to them, you dropped 14 points. You had a 14-point lead and you lose to them like that? You lose to them like that? Sorry. I keep doing it. Let me focus on today. Well, before I blow a gasket, before I burst a blood vessel, before I just pass out. Last week's loss, it killed me. And every time I bring it up, it pisses me off. Let me enjoy this. Brothers, you know, even in a win, even in an impressive win like this, I got to point out our shortcomings. I have to. The run defense is still our Achilles heel. Because even though the Minnesota Vikings didn't do much of it today, every time they did it, they were successful. Dalvin Cook, at the end of this third quarter, had 11 rushes for 72 yards. That's a great game. Something else is happening. The game is over. Let me stop. But every time they did run the ball, they were successful. Our run defense is still our Achilles heel. Thank God we're going against Kirk Cousins, who can't run to save his life. You know, we're not having Micah Parsons challenged out there, thank goodness. So, when opposing teams, when they don't have the personnel, or in this case, when they just simply cannot afford to run the ball like the Minnesota Vikings today, we could just pin our ears back and rush the passer, our greatest strength. We already have 40 sacks this season. Of course, we're like NFL leading right now with 40 sacks, 40 team sacks. Whenever we can just like rush the passer, it's game over. It's over for you. Micah Parsons is coming after you. Dorrance Armstrong is coming after you. DeMarcus Lawrence is coming after you. Even Osa Odigizua come after you. Even Cursa come after you. Like, we're going to come get your motherfucking ass. As soon as we can do that, we're after your fucking ass. But the run defense is still our Achilles heel. Brothers, we can't get too excited. Because teams in the playoffs, they love to run the football, and that is our biggest weakness. We can't have our biggest weakness being what teams like to do in the playoffs. I'm letting you know. Just letting you know. So don't be surprised if a team decides to run the ball against us later in the season or in the playoffs and we lose. It is still our Achilles heel, and we need Dan Quinn to figure out something. We don't have the personnel. Hopefully he can scheme us into this. He can scheme us to victory on the defensive side of the ball. Because the run defense is still trash. Now, when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, 2 touchdowns each from our running backs, Zeke, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is dynamic, electric. But when you need that strength, that size, put in Ezekiel Elliott. The running backs had great games today. Dak Prescott, last week, I keep doing it. I keep bringing up last week, and it really hurts my soul. You know, even though we still had the lead, 28-14 going into the fourth quarter, the Packers still would have never had a chance had Dak Prescott have not thrown those 2 picks. Now, people like to say, oh, well, Dalton Schultz and CeeDee Lamb, they didn't run their routes right, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. You can put the blame on them however you want. At the end of the day, Dak is the one who's throwing the fucking ball, and he should be able to see when his receivers are not running the correct routes. I'm pretty sure other quarterbacks can do the same fucking thing when they're wanting to go to this receiver right here, but they're like, oh, this dude isn't breaking off his route right. You know what? I'm going to go somewhere else or throw the ball away. So you can place the blame on anybody else, but that falls on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott gave Green Bay that game. And also, the run defense was fucking terrible. We got a fucking terrible team in the Green Bay Packers who've lost 5 of their last 6. Okay? 5 of their last 6. And they decide to run the ball on you, and they eat you alive. The run game is crucial, brothers. It's crucial. Run defense is crucial. We got to figure out something. We can't win like this. We're destroying the Vikings right now, which is great. But we can't win like this. But back to the positives. I keep veering off. I'm sorry. Dak Prescott played a clean game today. We didn't really ask him to do a lot of exotic shit. We just wanted him to kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. I'm not calling Dak Prescott stupid. I'm saying that's the method on the offensive side of the ball. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Run the fucking ball. Run off of play action. That's what we need to do. We need to go back to 2016 offense when Dak and Zeke were rookies. That shit is super success. It was super successful then, but we lost to Green Bay in the playoffs. And it's successful now. You got a dynamic duo right now. Run the game through them. I'm telling you, brothers, the offense, Terrence Steele, he's iffy on pass protection. But when it comes to running, whoo, man. When it comes to run blocking, Terrence Steele is his 3rd year in the league. He is fucking phenomenal when it comes to run blocking. He's simply amazing. We need to take advantage of our strengths. I know we're paying Dak $40 million a year. I know you want to run some shit through him. But at the end of the day, the game starts with the offensive line and our 2 running backs. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it fucking simple. Kellen Moore, keep it simple. The running backs had great games today. Dak Prescott had a good game today. No mistakes. He was clean. If he can keep it clean, brothers, we could possibly, I'm not saying we can't, I'm not saying we are, but possibly we can go to the NFC Championship game if Dak can just keep it fucking clean. Please, just keep it clean. A great game called by Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, can you do this more often? Can you do this on Thursday against the Giants, please? Don't get too cute. Keep it simple, please. Of course, Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is doing his thing, but we're 29th in the league in run defense. I really hope Dan Quinn figures out a way to shore up the run defense because it's bad. Even against the Vikings today, when they decide to do it, they were successful. That's a problem. Man. But brothers, I'm not going to lie. I'm super excited. Dominating win. Incredible win. Against the 8-1 Vikings in their house. We have their number. Like Green Bay has our number, we have the Minnesota Vikings number. Doesn't matter who starts. Dak Prescott, Andy Dalton, Cooper Rush. It doesn't matter who starts. We can still beat the Vikings. Thank God. We have the Giants on Thursday night, Thanksgiving Day. Even though the Giants lost today to the Detroit Lions, which was, I didn't see the game, but holy fuck, that was surprising. How did they lose? Man, Detroit, they've won 3 straight. I'm glad we beat them earlier. I'm glad we don't have to face them now, because they would give us a run for our money. They actually did give us a run for our money in the first 3 quarters in the game that we played in a couple of weeks back. Thank God we're not going against them while they're hitting their stride, hitting their momentum. But we still can't take the Giants lightly. We already beat them in New York. We're having them here in Arlington. Brothers, I love D.C. Side note, I love D.C. I loved it. But it feels great to be back in Texas. It feels great to be back in Arlington. I love this city. I love Dallas. I just love Texas. I love Texas. I just love it. Side note over. We have them here. We have to put our foots on their neck. We gotta drive it on them. We gotta beat these bitches, man. We gotta beat them. And going back to the Vikings, I'm all over the place, brothers. I'm sorry. You know, the Vikings, even though we destroyed them today, you still have to. They were without their starting cornerback and their starting left tackle. Now, brothers, that may not sound like much to like the casual fan, but if you really focus on football, losing your starting cornerback because they replaced him with Booth, and Booth got torched today. I feel sorry for the kid, but he got torched today for the Minnesota Vikings. He got torched. We took advantage of him. And losing your left tackle, it was like a revolving door on the Minnesota Vikings offensive line. You got everybody coming through. DeMarcus Lawrence, Michael Parsons, Dorrance Armstrong. You got all these players coming through. You got linebackers coming through. It's incredible how much losing a left tackle and a cornerback can do to a team. It's like when the Cowboys, if we lost Terrence Steele, if we lost Trayvon Diggs, that would completely alter the game plan. That would completely alter everything. You give the opposing team a fighting chance when you lose those 2 players, those key positions. Cornerback and left tackle are behind quarterback are the most important positions on the field. Cornerback and left tackle are the most important positions on the field after quarterback. So I got to give the Vikings respect on that. They were without their 2 best players at those key positions, and that gave us, you felt it in the beginning. On 3rd down, on the first drive for the Minnesota Vikings, Michael Parsons comes through, sack fumble, and we recovered it, and we got a field goal after that. So it's important. Those positions are important. So I got to give respect to the Minnesota Vikings. If we met up with them again and they have those 2 key players, those 2 key positions filled up, it will be a different story. So I need to put respect on their name. I really do. But brothers, it feels good to have a dominating win. It feels so fucking good to have that. It raises your spirit as a fan. You know, of course, we had Philadelphia losing to the Redskins last week, and that raised my spirit even after that mind-numbing loss to the Packers. That still raised my spirit. And then today, having a dominating win against a top-tier team just completely, gives me more hope. It shouldn't, because I fall for this song and dance every year. But it still gives me hope nonetheless. But, you know, I'm not going to lie. It kind of saddened me when they beat the Colts today by 1 point. They shouldn't have won that game, but they won. Kudos to the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to get you bitches on Christmas Eve, December 24th. We're going to fuck you motherfuckers up. We're going to fuck you up in Arlington. I can't wait for that fucking game. Ugh! Sorry, I got a little hype. Brothers, damn, this video has been going for 15 minutes. Well, it's about to be 15 minutes. Shit. Man, I've been talking up a storm. But I was getting last week's feelings into this week, brothers. I'm sorry. Brothers, I couldn't make a video last week. After that game, I couldn't do it. I was mentally fractured. I'm not going to lie. And I know it's pathetic to let your psyche fall victim to a football game, to a football team. I understand that's pathetic. But brothers, I can't help it. I'm connected to this team. It hurts. I wish I was an outsider. I really do. But I'm so plugged in with this franchise. I can't help it, man. I really can't. I can't. My dad was a Cowboys fan. Me and my dad bonded over these fucking Cowboys. He's gone now. And just being able to carry on his legacy of being a Cowboy fan, that's just, it's within me. You know, it's within me. I can't help this shit, brothers. I really can't. I know you got people looking at my channel and they're like, this big motherfucker talking about football. He talking about millionaires and shit running around playing the child's game. I know I got some people out there like that. I get that. But they don't understand. And see, if I could watch what they do and scrutinize what they do and be like, you into shit like that? They would finally understand because the shoe is on the other foot. I understand. Hopefully, they can understand. But, brothers, I'm going to close this video out. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to enjoy this beautiful, dominating win. See you on Thursday. Peace.